Well, today I have a 300 carat piece of seam opal from Lightning Ridge with a massive purple bar going all the way around the piece. And I cannot wait to see what faces from this gem. Let's get straight into it. This piece is awesome. I love the fact that there is colour going all the way around the piece. This area here is quite mixed up and the colour bar goes in and out a little bit. And there's a big chip there which I need to be very careful of. So I'm going to take it around the edges and some of this sand off. And unfortunately Saxon's taken my rough wheel, so I'm going to have to use this wheel for today. And I might just have a quick little look at this little green bar here that I'm not sure will cut much, but it could. So there's a lot to look at. Let's get the wheel going. It's really interesting, this piece, that the colour is really black but the potch isn't, and it seems to be, while I'm grinding into it, I was thinking the potch might turn black, but it's not changing, which on a stone like this doesn't really matter too much, because that black colour is dark enough to carry itself to stay black forever. And that doesn't really matter how thin the piece will be. I'm pretty sure it will all be a very dark body tone. So that tells me that the green bar, because there's no black potch, or I don't think there's any black potch attached to it, I'm not going to concentrate on it because it's not really going to, I don't think it's going to have a very great gem sitting in it. Firstly, I just need to clean everything up. So I really like this side. There's some really nice thick colour that is telling me that I could possibly cut something decent out of that area. And that chip there, I don't know if that's going to be a crack that goes in. We'll just have to wait and see as we get in there further. Now when I put the gem torch into this colour, it's one of those rare times where the gem torch does nothing. It won't show any light into the colour at all. It's so black that I just have to wing it without my gem torch, which is a very rare time. What I'm going to do is just take that down to that green colour bar, just have a quick sneak peek of how it faces, just in case, you know, you never know. Sometimes colour bars can really surprise you and show you nice colour when you least expect it. Alright, so I can see that green colour, while it's nice, it's fading into the potch and probably not worth chasing. Although, because this swirling potch here, I could chop that off and try and make a stone out of that and whatever I can underneath. Maybe I'll do that just to save that colour, and then we can go and have a look closer and deeper inside. Might just clean up some of this sand. There we go. Just get rid of some of that excess sand that we don't need. All right, we might send a slice through there because of that colour and try and get something out of that. It's not really going to be an amazing stone, but it swirls, the potch swirls enough around here and the sand getting in the way. That may be the only stone that I get out of this area. So let's get on the slicer. Alright, well I'm not very nervous about how this slice went, because I know that I caught the sand not far away, so I can see that there's a little bit of sand showing up right there that is from here. So I'm pretty much got it right on the right level, and Look at that colour bar, as straight as that side. So now we just got to contend with this edge, but the rest of it looks like it could be a massive, massive piece. I'm actually quite excited about how to see how much that's going to face up and how well. I might just put this one aside for a minute and let's have a play with this. And you know what? I think it's time. I'm going in. Oh, a little bit of sand just broke off the back. Might just get rid of that so I don't slip again. It's better. Look at that, you can see the darkness is starting to show through a little bit. Oh, and there's a little bit of purple just shining through there. And let's hope that this is going to be facing nicely. Let's hope. Let's have another little look at another corner. Oh yeah, I think I don't mind that. Yeah, it's got some nice brightness too. I mean, not a B3 brightness, but for this type of opal, it looks quite nice. So that dark opal there, while it has some nice colour, and I could try to slice it off, but I've really got not a lot of potch to slice off, and I want to keep this as high as possible. And the reason is there is some little grey lines in the colour bar that looks like it's deeper into the colour bar, and the further I go down, the more possibility I think I could hit those little grey webby bits. So I'm going to forego that to try and get as neat and clean stone as possible. So I'll keep going down. Wow, this is such a huge piece. And you know, I've cut pieces like this in the past where the colour actually didn't show up very well at all from the top, and so I've had to cut slices on the side, so facing the gem on the sides here and making tiny little gems. But I can see that that play of colour is actually more than good enough to face it this way, and I'm just praying that it stays clean throughout the whole piece. Starting there on the edge, and say goodbye to the rest of that top layer of dark opal. Okay, so from this chip here I can see that there's some glints of cracks going into there. I don't know if you can see those glints, but they are definitely there, which means that this part of the stone may be forfeited. We'll cut a small stone off that, and then we go for whatever we can out of the rest of it. So before I do that, we'll go down on the piece right to the colour, because there's always a chance that those cracks could come out as we hit the colour. It has happened before. Here we go, starting right there. Please, please show us a really nice big facing gem without web, without problems. So you can see a nice colour below, but look at these lines. They're what I'm really worried about, that might travel down into the stone. Let's hope they all come out as I get further down. Seems like it's coming out a bit, but that web really makes me nervous. Really makes me nervous. So while we have a beautiful big stone or stones to cut out of this, we have web in the colour. Alrighty, so we've got a nice facing opal. This web in it is all here to stay. And you actually can't see it as well on the camera, but it's there quite a lot. Now, over this side where there's a chip, there's a crack that goes in probably about that far. So I'm thinking if we bring that in a little bit and we cut a drop shape, we'll cut a really big drop shape there. That could be very, very pretty. Well, tell me in the comments if you think I'm making the right decision. Let's get into it. Before I go any further, I have to look really closely at that and make sure that there's no crack sitting there. So what I'm going to do is dry it out. Very closely. I think I need to get the loop out. So I've looked really closely at the gem and I can see that there's a crack still sitting just in that corner there. So unfortunately I'm going to have to bring it in a little bit further and try and get it out. I think that might be out now. Have to have another close look. Now I'm pretty sure the crack is out. And we can work on making this shape really beautiful. Rightio, well, I'm going to need to heat this stone quite a bit up, and I've got the biggest dop stick that's in my dop stickery. It's probably the biggest gem that I've cut for quite a long time, and I do find that, oh yeah, that's hot. I do find that the bigger gemstones, I seem to be able to get a good polish on them quite easily because they're big surfaces. So I'll just heat that gem up a fair bit and get that wax nice and hot, and on she goes. Oof. When you've got that much wax heating up, it all heats up a lot. You can burn your fingers on it quite easily, but that's she's on. Just give it a little bit more of an adjustment to get it exactly straight. That should be good to go. You know, it's really interesting how lucky you can be when cutting opal, and also how unlucky you can be. Any one of those faults could have run so much further into this gem and made it half the size. And so realistically, cutting opal is a lot of luck. You can't see fault lines, web lines, sand holes, and things, especially in opaque opals like this one. And just like in the video 2 weeks ago, the knobby had been hit by the digger and there was cracks right through all the potch. Luckily I got to cut them out, but it just shows that there can be so many things that can go wrong, and I'm really, really grateful for this beautiful big gem. Well, let's see how close I was to guessing how big this gem would be when I was looking at it in the rough. So let's just turn that scales on And these scales only weigh to 100 carats, so it has to be, if it goes over, I won't know what it weighs. I'll have to take it upstairs to the other scales, but that's incredible. So I guessed 100 carats it would probably turn out to be, and it's come out at 98 carats. So I'm 2 carats out. Oh, that's shocking. How can I be better? And very, very cool stone, and 98 carats at $150 a carat. That's around about a $15,000 gem, so I'm really happy with that. Very nice gem, and I hope you enjoyed my journey.